Okay, so the Daleks Master Plan. It's a 12 episode behemoth of a story from season 3 back in 1965 with old Billy Hartnell. Also, Peter
I love
Purvis.
him.
Peter Purvis
Yeah.
as Stephen and Adrienne Hill as Katarina,
Hmm.
who's recently joined the TARDIS. It's also Nicholas Courtney's first appearance in Doctor Who, but not as the Brigadier, but
Nice,
as
Bruce.
another character. And we get Jean Marsh as Sarah Kingdom. Uh, who else we got? Kevin Stoney as Mavic Chen.
Hmm.
More on that in a bit. um,
Yeah, I do.
uh, yeah, but I so for context, I had never seen this story before.
I completely forgot you'd never seen the Daleks Master Plan before.
I'd never seen it. I knew what it was.
You don't reconstruct, do you? You don't like the reconstructions.
No, I don't mind a recon. It was just previously there were only 3 episodes of this that survived, which meant
Mm.
watching a a, a 12 episode serial. So like
Hmm.
almost like what 4.5 hours of telly,
Yeah, I did it.
um, and 9 episodes of which don't exist. That
Yeah,
was a bit much for me. But
yeah,
with these new episodes coming out, I was like, well, I've got to watch them because we're gonna have to talk about them on the pod. But
yeah.
that makes it sound like a chore. I was really excited and was like, oh, I've got to watch these, and
Here's
then
my
also
excuse. Yeah.
let's knuckle in, and also like almost half of it is back now, so I could stomach it a little bit more, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
I'm intrigued to see what your thoughts are.
so we'll start with for anyone that's somehow unaware, 2 of these episodes were previously thought missing and were junked by the BBC were returned to the archives this weekend
Yep.
because they were found by UK charity Film is Fabulous, who focus on finding and restoring and archiving film and television. And yeah, these came from a collector who passed away, whose remains anonymous, but they were donated to the charity, and they've been able to restore them and return them to the BBC, which is really, really cool.
They look amazing.
They look so good.
They look so crisp.
Yeah, like the
The
quality of
restoration
them.
work on it is impeccable.
Yeah, it's so great. I mean, we spoke about it a few weeks back, and it's like
Yeah.
of all of there's like 90 odd episodes of
Hmm.
classic Doctor Who that's missing.
Yeah.
And of all of those, the Daleks Master Plan as a story is one of
Mm.
those that is probably in like the top 3 that
Yeah.
people want more
I was gonna
episodes of
say
to come back. Like,
I wanted when I was like, oh, okay, like what when I was asked what missing episode, like what do you want it to be?
it's
And
gonna be Macro
Dalek
Terror,
Master
isn't it?
Plan. Obviously, Macro Terror was one of them. Obviously, it was Macro Tomb and then Dalek's Master Plan. Not Tomb, uh, Moonbase.
Yeah,
And
I'd really like to see the moon base actually.
me too, me too.
Yeah, although
Um,
I really like the animation
oh, I like the animation too, but there's like one specific bit of the animation that I'd love to see, like as the original
done in
broadcasted
live
version,
action.
like done properly. Yeah. But yeah, I was chuffed when they found these 2 episodes, especially because when I watched them over Christmas, I even said when I was talking about each episode, my first comment for episode 1 was I really really wish that this first episode was live action and it wasn't a
Yeah,
reconstruction. I was like, this is the like because I enjoyed the second episode too so much. I really really wanted the first episode. So when it was found, I was like, my prayers, I manifested this.
yeah. I mean, I'm really happy that I mean, I'm happy that we've got anything that's
Missing
been
Who,
recovered.
yeah.
It's a real treat because they're
Yeah.
believed gone forever.
Yeah, and then
It's like, what? They exist. They're back. Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's really, really cool. It's lovely that we get Nicholas Courtney's first appearance in the show.
Oh,
Um,
he's such a baby. He looks so young.
We've got obviously Adrienne Hill as Katerina, who there was only like one episode of her.
Yeah. It's so nice to see her like full set, somewhat.
Yeah, we're missing her first and then
like a tiny
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really nice that we've got a bit more of her. Sarah Kingdom, we get her first episode as well. Jean Marsh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, and I think I'm really happy that it was these 2 episodes that we got, because you've now got that 1, 2, 3 stretch of the opening, and also that's my favourite little chunk.
Yeah. Me too.
And I don't
the
know
last
if
episode.
I don't know if it's just because I was going into them excited and knowing that, oh my god, this is new classic Who that's not been seen before, or if the fact that I'm watching the reconstructions rather than the originals of the later episodes, if that's kind of sort of dampened my enthusiasm for them. But
no,
I thought these first 3 were like
they're
really,
the most
really strong.
coherent, and like I think it kind of Dalek Master Plan follows the same kind of thing. I don't know what the word is. My brain isn't braining, but that most of the classic serials fall into, where you get a really strong start, and then in the middle, it's a bit like, where are we going to go for this? And it either lands or it doesn't. And I think with the Daleks Master Plan, that's what we've got. A really strong start, and now you can really see the strong start. And my favourite thing about these newfound episodes are there are so many, when I was listening to the reconstruction, that you miss. Like, there are some really funny facial expressions. It like the face acting paired with the voice, with just the voice alone, you don't get some of those like comedic like things that come out, and just the life that it brings. Like, I do feel like although the reconstructions are great, don't get me wrong, there was like I think it's in like episode 3, Nicholas Courtney does like a little face before he says about the doctor being a granddad or whatever. What's up, a grandpa or whatever, his little face, and that you can't read that on because it doesn't show it on the reconstruction, so
it just elevates it, doesn't it?
Yeah, you don't know that happened, but then when you see it, like, I laughed and was like, that's really funny, that's great. Like, I was just so elated after being like, physically being like, oh, I really, really, really wish that we had these episodes, because I know that there's more to this. And then after seeing it, I was like, yes, now I want all of it. Now I'm greedy.
Yeah.
Now I'm being greedy and I want all of it. But I do, back to my original point before I squirreled, I do think the first 3-4 episodes are the strongest, to follow the plot.
The first thing I want to say about this, and it's the thing that stuck out to me the most whilst watching, is his gorgeous. Yeah. It is cool. Beautifully shot. Like, and I think that really adds to. I think it really added to my enjoyment of the story. And maybe that's part, like, an element of why I didn't enjoy the later episodes as much, because I'm not able to see what Douglas Camfield is doing with the camera. There's something I noticed is that there's rarely a point where the camera isn't moving. Like, it's such a such dynamic camera work.
Yeah.
And if the camera ever is still, it's because it's moved and like tracked or zoomed or panned or whatever to get to that point and done something really interesting to get there, or it's a really dynamic image. Like the one that springs to mind is that first shot of the Dalek.
Yeah,
where it cuts
they're
to
looking
sort
up
of
them.
from like a low angle, and he's kind of towering above.
And you're looking up at them.
Oh my god, that is gorgeous!
Amazing, isn't it? Absolutely incredible. When I first saw that, I was like, yes.
Yeah, and that
so good.
That immediately communicates. I think, especially because
threat.
Yeah, and the last time we saw the Daleks was in the chase, where they were being pushed off, the Mary Celeste, and
they weren't taken as seriously as they should have been.
Yeah, it was a more pulpy
comedic,
sort of 60s romp, where this time
they weren't
it's
going
going
for that tone.
Yeah, it's going, no, this is bleak, and they like the kill count, like the death count in this story is like heavy. And I'm sure we'll come to that in a moment. But just the whole thing's so stylish, and I think the lighting is really like in the jungle on Kemble.
You wouldn't believe, like, if you weren't looking, you wouldn't believe that it's just like a constructed set.
Yeah.
Like, it feels so real, especially the jungle. Like, it feels so claustrophobic in that jungle. And you're there and you look for the Daleks because you're like, where are they? When are they going to come?
Yeah.
They're lurking. Like, all of it feels, the tone is perfection. And it just really elevates all of the really good character work and acting that we get to see throughout the first 3 episodes. Like, it's honestly phenomenal.
I think the fact that it's like covered in shadow, I got some real like German expressionist vibes from it, like Dr. Caligari sort of like just how everything's like bathed in shadow, and as you say, it kind of adds to that kind of like tense sort of horror thriller
like
kind of vibe that you believe that, because you can't quite see that back wall of the studio set, in the darkness there just behind that tree there might be a Dalek that's going to come out and
come out. I did a refresher run last night as well, and I just remember chuckling to myself going, chunky boys. Do they not look really chunky? They look like really
chunky.
Big and like chunky and like domineering.
Yeah, they really feel like little tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they feel solid. Like, there's something like heavy and really like, I don't know. But there's talking about the sets as well. There's a really nice bit. I think it might be in episode 3. That like delegate like conference room set. Like that. I mean, that must be a massive set, because there's a point. I'm sure it's in the 3rd episode, where a Dalek comes from the background all the way to the foreground.
It does,
and it does such a long, like, I was going to say walk, but trundle.
Glide.
Like, it comes all the way down, and it really feels like, I don't know, it just adds to that scope.
100%. And because this is a really big story that they're trying to do anyway, like the actual threat is big, and they're handling a lot. I think they do it so well in their set design as well. It just looks amazing. It feels I am really, really like in love with everything they've done.
Yeah. I love Nick Courtney in this.
I love him so much, and he looks so young. He looks like such a little young.
Yeah, he's got.
Go on.
I've just put here. It's easy to see why they got him back later on, because he's got so much
100%.
presence, and
he's one of those actors which is great, which every actor should do, and is definitely taught in drama school, but they don't always remember or do it. Is even when you're in the background, or when you. Obviously, it's always like action reaction, isn't it? And he is one of those actors that even in the background, he's still performing and he's still acting and he's still reacting to everything that's going on in the room. And he's looking at this and he's doing this. And you can see it throughout.
Yeah.
And he's just so wonderful. And all of his just like micro expressions. And you can see every single thought and like feeling and like response to anything that the man interacts with. You can see it written all over his face. He's such a great performer.
And I think the character of Brett is really good as well. Like, he's a really interesting addition to that core cast for those first few episodes.
I was gonna say it shakes up the team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's interesting because you're never quite sure where you stand with him. Like, because he's got some charm, but he's also, we're first introduced to him as he's like got the Doctor at gunpoint and
threatening the Doctor.
Yeah. And you're never quite sure, can we trust this guy? Is he just gonna,
I think that watching and being so in love with the Third Doctor and his stories ruined it for me, in the sense that whenever I watch this, I'm just like, it's just the Brig, so he's fine. I trust him. And it's like, you probably shouldn't, because it's not the Brig, and he did just have the Doctor at gunpoint, and, he is, like, only thinking of himself and survival. He does warm up, as his character progresses until he dies. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I think I watch it and I'm like, it's fine. And it's not. You shouldn't trust him straight away just because he's the Brigadier,
he's
a
Nick
completely
Courtney.
different character in another season. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. He's great, and he's a really interesting wrinkle to that dynamic of the cast. Oh well, speaking of the Doctor, he's got some really like lovely bits in this. Like you were saying about how the things that you would miss in a reconstruction or an animation, like all of his little
talking to himself,
like chuckles. Yeah, I love that bit in the first episode where it's like, "Oh, you've left the key in the door. That's your first mistake." Like,
and seeing his little face, and he's all like really happy about it. It's like,
you mischievous little imp, you little.
I love him so much.
Pixie.
He is the perfect actor to have as the first Doctor and continue this journey through. Like, he's just I don't have words.
He feels like a little sprite. Do you know what I mean?
But in a different way to how the second Doctor, because the second Doctor feels like a little sprite, a little mischievous sprite, but the first Doctor has a different kind of sprite energy. Like he's like granddaddy sprite.
Yeah, and I think you really get to see that grandfatherliness with his relationship with Katharina, which I think is a nice. Obviously, we've had it with Susan, we've had it with Vicky, and now we get it with Katharina. And it's a nice sort of continuation of that little.
Of that kind of like relationship that he has with.
Yeah, that little corner of his characterization, I think.
Yeah.
And it's almost a shame that I think, when obviously once Katharina's died and she's not in the story, that
is missing.
Grandfatherliness to that character dies with her.
Yeah.
Because he, obviously we get Sarah come in for the rest of the story, but we'll talk about Sarah Kingdom in a bit, but she doesn't need a granddad to hold her hand. So it, and I think that's one of the key sort of facets of Hartnell's Doctor for me in my head. So the fact that for the vast majority of this story we don't really get that. It feels, I think, I miss it. I was missing that sort of, oh, come on, my dear, kind of thing. And there's a little bit of that with Sarah, where he's, but it's not that. It's not so much that caring, like it's more. I don't know. he sort of I feel
Well,
like he sees her more like
well,
a
they're
peer.
more mature. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not the same dynamic or relationship.
yeah, he's just being nice.
Kind. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas like with Katerina or Vicky, it's that, oh, come along, my dear, and
Like paternal type.
yeah, like he's looking
Yeah.
after her.
Yeah.
Which, you know, and that's not to say that I think that he should have looked after Sarah or anything, or
No,
that
it was just
Sarah's
that
character
side.
should have been more in need of that by any stretch, because
Yeah.
I really like what they do with Sarah's character. But I think it's interesting because that grandfatherliness is such like a key aspect of his character in my head that, I felt like it was kind of missing. But there's Bill's great in this, like all those little expressions
His little
and
giggles and yeah.
yeah, and like Daleks, like so good.
I love it when he sees the Daleks for the first time and he pulls that face and the camera's like right under his nose.
Yeah, Daleks.
Daleks.
I've put a note here which I don't remember writing, but actually reflecting on it, I know I was just talking about how I really like the Doctor's sort of like grandfatherliness, and like how he sort of he'll go, oh, my child, and oh, my dear. I feel like I found it a little bit patronizing with Katerina, and I feel like maybe that's because she does feel like an actual child.
It's because, right, and this is a point that I wanted to actually talk about. I'm really conflicted with her character because you've got that kind of like wanderlust, like stargazer, because she's never seen anything like this before. And this is so out of her kind of like realm of possibility. Like there's that beautiful shot when she's like reaching out into the stars, like up to the stars and stuff.
In episode 3. That's my favourite. I'm glad these episodes are back just for that moment alone.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful, beautiful little, like such a short beat.
Yeah.
But it does so much for her character and also makes it so much more tragic
when she
dies. Yeah.
Dies, yeah. But so it like you're right. It does so much for her character, and that's what the direction that they were I think trying to go for, but also because she was pretty much like that in Mythmakers as well. Like not to that extent because she didn't know any of that exists, but like she was characterized the same. So I think it does become like a little bit, especially it's hard because in that context as well, he's like, why are you asking so many questions? Why can't you just be like her? And she's just kind of like staring at the stars.
Yeah, why can't you be like her and do like everything? And she's just like, ah.
Do everything and don't question anything. Why do you have to question me? Just be like her. Like, he's saying that to like a bunch of men, and there's just like a woman staring at the stars like, this is so pretty. So I think it does, some things accidentally become a bit patronizing or makes her a smaller character, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, kind of not belittles her, but like boxes her in a little bit.
I think it kind of does belittle her a little bit, though. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think it's intentional. I think it just happens to end up that way.
Well, it's interesting because of like,
because she's a woman.
But also, like, there's bits in that first episode where the Doctor's like, oh, you can't get in because not got the key, and she's like, what's a key? Like,
yeah.
Which obviously for the contextually, it's like, well, yeah, I guess she wouldn't know what a key is.
Yeah.
But it's like I completely understand why they had to write her out.
Yeah.
I've just put, it must have been such a ball ache for them.
Yeah.
To
say all these things.
She wouldn't know what that is, or like, oh, we're gonna have to explain that to like.
Yeah.
And I really like the idea of, you know, someone from an ancient civilization being taken into this sci-fi world, and I love that how she contextualizes it, where she thinks the Doctor's a god and she's in the afterlife.
I love the language that she uses as well.
yeah, that the TARDIS is this sort of like temple,
Temple.
and
Yeah.
like all of that is really, really lovely.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, I completely see why they're like, yeah, this is not sustainable.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is what I mean. I feel like a lot of things unfortunately happen to end up a certain way because of the position that they're kind of put in with the character.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I can see why it might come across a bit
Mm.
patronizing and stuff at times.
And I should say this is no slight on Adrienne Hill at all,
No.
because I think she does brilliantly with
Mhm.
like she injects a real sort of life and charm into that.
Yeah.
And I think without that performance, I'd be going, God, she's annoying.
Yeah.
Like, but there's a real like sweetness and
But I love how like doting and caring she is over Stephen when he's
yeah,
ill, and she's just there and she's like, I was gonna say protecting, but not protecting, but she's caring and she's making sure he's okay, and she's doing all the things. I think it's really
yeah,
sweet.
yeah.
The
It's quite
naivety.
sweet. The innocence of it
Yeah.
is quite, yeah. It's endearing, but
Yeah.
yeah, I can understand why they were like, yeah, we can't
We
keep
can't.
this up.
What's a
Um,
key?
what's a key? Uh,
Oh,
so, another note that I made and then later on realised something about it. So the note I made is a gorgeous set of acrylics on Mavic Chen.
yep.
And then later on, I realised that that is just one of the cosmetic changes they've made to Kevin Stoney to portray him as quote marks East Asian. So let's talk about this,
Do
because
we have to?
well, I feel like it'd be amiss to not talk about it briefly.
Okay.
Kevin Stoney, who I should say, I think is really good.
Yeah,
I think he's
very
really good in this.
Yeah.
I think he's even better in The Invasion.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well, no, he's better in The Invasion.
but I think this is a really, really great performance. Like he
Yeah.
really gives it some oomph.
I agree.
I've just put Kevin Stoney's great, really threatening. Shame about the racism.
Yeah,
So Kevin Stoney is a white actor.
he is. Yeah, and they definitely change him, don't they?
They're doing yellowface.
Yeah.
They're doing yellowface.
They are.
They've
I don't understand why, because even for the character, it like
there's
the
no
character, there's no reason why you would have to do that. Do you know what I mean?
there's
Like,
no reference to him being
yeah,
East Asian.
So,
Like within the script.
yeah,
It's also not great that, you know, this is one of the few examples that comes to mind of like East Asian representation in this era of the show.
yeah,
It's not great that you've made him this cackling villain.
yeah,
Paired with the fact that in a few stories' time we've got the Celestial Toymaker,
yep,
who they dress in sort of East Asian Mandarin garbs,
Mm-hmm.
and they've given him this sort of like very traditional sort of like, again quote marks, like man of the Orient, like facial hair
But I think
and the long nails, and they've tanned his skin up, like they've
Yeah.
put makeup on him to slightly darken his skin.
yeah,
They've done something with the wig line that's like pulling back his eyes slightly,
yeah.
and watching it, it's like, oh, this isn't
But
great,
also-
is it?
There's that, which is obviously really important, obviously. And then, but when I'm watching it as well, I think he looks the most out of place with the whole kind of Dalek cohort, should we say? Like all of the other like galaxy
Right.
people, because they're all
All the other
like,
delegates.
yeah, because sorry, I couldn't think of the name. Thank you. All the other delegates, because they all look so alien and different, and I understand that he's
Yeah.
like human, but like he doesn't even look it. Like it would
Yeah.
have just him being himself, but dress him up a bit and make him look a bit villainous, like panto villain, but he'll perform it naturally so it won't look like a panto villain, would have been more successful than what they done with his costuming here, I feel.
Yeah. There's like there's just
Like
no
it's
need.
so unnecessary.
There's so many other options you can take. One,
Yeah.
you could get an East Asian actor to play the character.
Yeah.
Although, again, the whole thing of like East Asian representation, it being
Yeah.
a villain. Also, I'm not saying that East Asian people can't play villains or like be antagonists or
Yeah.
have like negative portrayals or anything like that. It's just when those are the only portrayals that you've got in your show and in the wider sort of media landscape of the time. It's not a great look. See Talent of Wang Chiang. Or just have him as English or American or like, you know, like just have Kevin Stoney play it as his own race.
Yeah.
Is that I know that might seem a wild idea, you know, but I think that could have worked personally.
Yeah.
I think you could have a white man play a white man.
What?
I know. Yeah, so that's a bit of a thorn in the side of this serial.
Yeah.
But, you know, we got to mention it because it's quite a big element of it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, obviously those are the two missing episodes. We're very glad to
Yeah.
have them back.
Yeah.
They look
They're
great.
just so good. There's so much that you don't realise happens. And I know that's like an obvious thing, like, well, yeah, of course, it's because you can't see it. I know. I'm just saying it really does make a difference. As someone who like has seen all the reconstructions like recently and like struggled with them a bit because it was very hard to keep engagement and kind of like see what people were thinking and feeling, and I can't just go off their kind of tone. It having the episodes was just honestly fantastic.
Yeah.
It just added so much life to the story. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't think I'd have enjoyed them nearly as much without having that, as we said, Douglas Camfield's direction, being able to see those little bits of those smaller little nuances of the performances of the cast that really, as you say, give it some life and really sort of elevate the whole thing.
The direction was just honestly stand out.
Yeah, really,
the first
really
two
good.
episodes are so good. Yeah.